On Saturday, November 2nd, starting at noon, Kevin Williams is helping sick kids by playing video games. He needs your help to raise $1,000 for the CHIO Foundation. Donate at extra-life.org/participants/347875.
Hey guys, I'm Jenn. I'm a gamer, a photographer, and a longtime wrestling fan. Wrestling, especially women's wrestling, has truly evolved over time and is bigger than ever. I'm here to give my take on the world of wrestling, be it women, men, or whatever else is on my mind. Because if women in wrestling are being heard more, shouldn't women in wrestling podcasts be too? Welcome to Women Crush Wrestling! What's up, everybody? It's me, just Jenny, here with my boy Adam.
Go to hell, Natty, and tell your daddy I said hi.
That's really rude.
I know, right? Very rude.
Jeez.
How you doing, Jen?
I'm okay, I guess. I don't know, a little confused.
I just, we always try to come up with some sort of way to start the show, and we, for a while there, we did different languages, but that got old real quick because I only know like 3. And even
True.
then, I only know how to say hello in some of those languages, so
True.
It's not as fun.
No.
But then the other thing is that, we're a women's wrestling show. And I thought it would be a good idea for me to maybe start every episode by quoting a woman's wrestler.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
That's okay? That works.
Okay.
That works
It works
for you?
better. I just did not know this was your plan.
Oh, okay. Well, it's always, it's the element of surprise.
I guess so.
You're okay with that?
Yes.
All right, good. Well, because that's how we're going to do things, I think.
All right. Okay, then. No. I'm like, jeez.
I wasn't trying to be mean. It's just...
Wasn't here for a week and you took over.
It's what I do.
Right?
That's what I do. I'm like the Mark Henry of podcasts. That's what I do.
Fair.
Except we've met Mark Henry, and he's pretty nice. A lot nicer than I am.
I didn't get to meet him.
Oh, I'm sorry. But you did get to meet a lot of people over SummerSlam weekend.
That's true.
And we're going to talk all about that here. And we're going to be talking to Beautiful Beaa, who was just racking up championships across Ontario, it seems on a weekly basis. She was nice enough to sit down with us and chat, which was really cool of her. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk to her in just a little bit. Jen, where have you been for the last week?
So being pregnant and doing SummerSlam weekend took too much out of me.
Get out of here.
So I was like a zombie the week I got back.
It was all downhill from there.
Just sleeping. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're back. We missed you.
I feel better.
Good.
Yeah, I'm still tired, which is weird, but...
Wait, why is that weird?
I don't know. I just was really tired today.
Okay. Well, we'll go easy on you. How's that?
Okay.
All right. And with that being said, we're going to turn it over to you for the first half of the show.
I'll go away.
Well, we want you
that
to...
wasn't even English. That's how tired I am.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know what it means.
No.
So I got to talk about my experiences with SummerSlam to the patrons last week, but people don't care what I did. They want to know about your experiences. So tell them about what you did, because you had a very different experience from the rest of us. You put down the money. You put down the dollar bill, y'all, to go and have the ultimate WWE experience.
It wasn't maybe the ultimate because, I didn't get a chair.
Like the people. That's what separates it, the chair.
But then I was like, how do those people get them home? Like, what if those people flew here? You just put that through security?
I guess that can you check a chair?
I think so, maybe.
Check a chair.
Oh my goodness. Did not miss this.
Would you put that in the overhead compartment, or would you check that?
I don't think it would be big enough for the overhead.
You mean you think it would be too big for the overhead?
That's what I meant.
Yeah, I figured.
They give up. You sit on normal chairs, but they give you mini chairs. It's an illusion.
Little teeny tiny ones.
Yeah.
They're made for pop
You
figures.
zoom in on that picture, it says actual size.
It's a pixel.
Yeah.
On your computer.
Yeah.
Lame, weak.
No, it was a real chair. I didn't get that, but
you sound bitter about it. Are you bitter that you didn't get the chair?
No, it would have been better seats. Probably more leg room. I cramped up a lot and had to stand or walk around.
How did people behind you feel about that?
Oh, it wasn't the people behind me. It was these 2 guys beside me that I just couldn't stand.
Oh, really?
They wouldn't move. And I was like,
what?
I literally told Colin, I was like, okay, next time if they don't move, I'm going to be like, I'm 6 months pregnant. I'm going to just pee on you. You can move.
And that's when you got the nickname Priscilla Kelly Jr.
And I was okay with that.
Man, it's been crazy. But I want to hear all about what happened because you and I weren't together for most of it.
No, I only saw you twice.
We got together right before NXT.
Yeah.
Like right before NXT.
Yeah.
And then we saw each other at the meet and greet on Sunday.
For a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, for a little tiny bit. So tell us about the experience. How did it start?
Well, with NXT.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I mean, when did you fly into Toronto?
We drove.
You drove in?
Yeah.
Okay.
We park at the airport because we don't like parking downtown.
And you got a part of the package was you got a hotel room.
Yes.
Like they included it.
And it was a hotel that we usually stay at for Fan Expo, so we both really like this hotel.
Where was that?
The Hyatt Regency.
Okay.
So it's by Blue Jay Lane on King Street.
It's a nice place.
It is nice. It is very nice. It's always nice and quiet. Obviously, all the other wrestling people stayed at that one because you can see with all the shirts when you're going down to the lobby.
It's true though. And did you do the nod? Like how do you
Sometimes.
Do you acknowledge it?
So I'm really awkward.
Yeah, well we know that, but
It's so hard for me to approach people. I would just, if we made eye contact, yeah, but like most of the time. There was also a really nice wedding, like high-end wedding happening that weekend.
oh, that's unfortunate.
So me, Colin, and then these two other guys, full like wrestling gear, almost like t-shirts, and then these really nice looking bridesmaids get in her like elevate, and you're just like, oh man, feel like a piece of poo.
But did you say to the brides, I feel like a Rudy Poo? And then they were like, what the hell is wrong? No, okay.
Because again, don't talk to people.
That would have been
If I bump into you, I say sorry. And if you hold my door, I say thank you. But that's it.
That's very sweet of you.
But
you were
that's
raised
the Canadian.
the right way.
That's the Canadian in you.
God, can you imagine, like, if they had some wedding crashers that night, just 30 guys jump in and were like, we're turning this wedding into a Royal Rumble.
Could have been, and just didn't make the news.
You should have been in there.
I was in bed. Well, obviously, we were late. This is the latest I stayed up. Because I was going to bed at like 12:30. Yes, in the last like month and a half.
Right.
But it was worth it.
So you arrived on Saturday?
Yes. That's why I couldn't go to the summit.
Right. So you arrived on Saturday.
Yeah.
By the way, you missed a hell of a show.
I know. I'm really upset. But Colin couldn't get Friday off, so.
Remind me, before we wrap things up, that I've got something for you.
Okay.
It's going to be a big surprise. You're going to love it.
Okay.
So you couldn't be there for the summit, boo.
Yeah.
Around what time did you jump into Toronto?
It was about maybe, I think it was like 2:33.
Okay.
So we checked into our hotel. Like when we got downtown Toronto, it was like 2:33.
Right.
Yeah.
So you like got in just in enough time to kind of get yourself together and then hit up the show.
Yeah.
Were you like in a rush or in a panic or anything? Or
no.
You guys knew you guys were coming right there?
We were good. Right? But when I was like, oh yeah, I'll meet you guys at 5:30, right? I didn't realize how slow I walk now because I kind of waddle.
Well, you have a whole other person inside you.
But I was just like, Colin kept walking ahead of me and he would have to stop and like wait for me because he's not used to it. We don't go anywhere. So I was like, oh, we're going to be late.
Did you have to plan everything else accordingly? Like
kind of after
now
that.
We know it's going to take twice as long.
Yeah, after that, I'm like, okay, gates open at 4:30, show opens at 6:15 or 6, so we're gonna just 5 o'clock. Noon. I didn't want to sit in the seats for too long. So,
right.
But
absolutely, that's another thing I wanted to ask about SummerSlam. You know, it wasn't. I'll say this: it wasn't tremendously long.
No.
But, you know.
I missed a whole match, though.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Which match did you
Kevin
miss?
Owens and Shane McMahon.
Oh, that's too bad. I really liked that one. That was one of my favorites.
We picked two. I can't remember what was the other one. That we would be okay if we just
missed. I will admit, before you go into the show, if Shane McMahon is on the card somewhere, that's probably the match I want to miss.
Yes.
You're
and
right.
I get it that Kevin Owens is Canadian and it was amazing. It would have been awesome to see him live.
If you had told me going into the show that a Shane McMahon match would have been in my top 3 for SummerSlam.
Top 3?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It was probably, yeah, it was, would it have been my top 3? Yeah, I don't know. It depends on if you count The Fiend versus Finn Balor as a match.
I did.
Okay, well, if you count it as a match, then it'd be 4th.
I did. It didn't make sense to me, though.
Well, I mean, it was just there to showcase Bray
I know, but
Wyatt.
he should have been someone. The Demon King. Why are you putting him against why would a Demon King be scared of him?
Well, but he's not against the Demon King.
I know,
against
but
Finn Balor.
Balor's means Demon King.
Yeah, but that's how scary the Fiend is.
Yeah.
I liked it. I
liked it a lot. I like his character a lot.
But no, I mean, I'm saying I like the fact that Finn Balor looks scared.
Oh.
Because it put him over. It put Bray Wyatt over.
That's true.
And I think that's what you needed.
I've always liked Bray Wyatt, though.
Yeah, well,
So.
I mean, we
creepy.
all love Bray Wyatt here.
I just like because he's creepy. Oh my god.
WrestleMedia.
I have stories about the girl behind me when he came out. She was not liking it. She was hella scared.
Oh, really?
And I was like, oh man, she ain't gonna like it when he does his crab walk. Like
Yeah.
his back exorcist looking walk. And when he started to do it, she literally was like, oh my god. Like, she instantly was like, I cannot watch this.
So she was like a non-fan who was there or a casual
Yeah.
fan?
Oh, because
Aren't those the best?
They are and they aren't.
Okay.
They are because it's a pure reaction.
Yeah.
And it's not for the fact that I'm constantly hearing, who's this person? What's that person? What's that person? What's going on? Who's this? What does this mean?
It's like watching the show with Art Bell behind you. Right. That's a nice old school reference for all of you folks out there. All right, so you get there, NXT TakeOver, you meet up with your favorite people in the world,
That's
us.
right.
And
you all got to meet Colin.
Yes, well, I mean, I had met Colin before.
I know, but Jeff and...
Oh, yeah, sure.
You know, they
Those
haven't.
other guys. Yeah,
so.
okay. And what was the night from there? Like, did you guys go and do some merchandise shopping? Did you grab some snacky snacks? What was the night for you?
I bought the Becky Lynch shirt.
Oh, okay.
That says the man right where my belly is.
Ah.
So I was like, I love that because then I'm like, oh, well, he's...
Which is true.
Yep. The man's right there. He is. He's my new man.
That is very cute.
Colin bought a Rey Mysterio shirt. Mm-hmm. Because he wanted the Finn Balor, but he didn't like the blue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This was at TakeOver?
No, we went to the Superstore before.
Oh, see, you liar. I
am. I am a liar. I forgot. I have pregnancy brain, so you have to, stuff's just going to come at me.
What did you think of the Superstore?
I hated it.
It wasn't great.
It was not. Not one baby item.
I know you were really bummed out about that.
We
all were. We were really hoping that you were going to come
Right?
back with something for Little Cthulhu, but nothing yet.
There was a teddy bear that I thought about it, but then Colin was like, does he need it? And I was like...
Do babies need anything aside from shelter and food and water?
But I was like...
And even then, do babies drink water? I don't think they do.
No, they do. Infants, maybe not, but like toddlers, they do drink water.
Adam asks baby questions. Do babies
That'll be a
need
different
water?
podcast. Once he's
Just
born.
every week, I just sit there and ask you questions about the kid. That's all it is.
He kicked a lot during all these matches.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
so she's a fan already.
He doesn't like when I sit and crouch.
Yeah. Well, that's constricting his space.
Yeah. So
like right now, he's not happy.
He's sleeping a bit. So it's because I was eating ice cream sandwiches before I got here. So he was excited about
Me
that.
too.
He was like, yeah.
Ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah.
What would you do? What would Cthulhu do for a Klondike bar?
Probably claw his way out of his mom.
Horrifying.
That'll
be on the next campaign slogan.
There you go.
Well done. So you went to the Superstore.
Yes.
What did you like at the Superstore? There must have been some items you liked, though.
The Becky Lynch shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know. All the Toronto shirts were just kind of eh.
I like the jerseys. I almost bought a jersey.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I'm not a jersey person. I wanted the hoodie, but the
it.
color just threw me off a little.
Yeah.
What
did you think of the Bret Hart pajamas?
I didn't see them.
They're Bret Hart's tights. But they're pajamas.
That's what the one guy was wearing. There's a guy in the front row.
You mean Andrew Kent? Yes.
Yes. Who I met on the way down to Toronto.
There you go.
We stopped at the same gas station.
What a coinkydink.
Right?
So you went to the Superstore. You were let down.
Yes.
Then you went to the ACC. Well, I guess it's now Scotiabank Place.
Yes.
For TakeOver Toronto. Where were you sitting, first of all?
So we were
Hundreds, right?
Yeah, one...
Were your seats for NXT TakeOver the same as your seats for... Well, that's convenient.
So we were really close to the ring. We were literally, when it stops being floor and it starts going up, we were only the 11th row up.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so we had really
You weren't
good...
with us out in the nosebleeds.
No. I got to see all the facial features, saw the blob.
Got to see the sweat flying off.
Kind of. Almost. Like the spit when they slap each other.
Nice.
Or kick, yeah. But
so, what were your favorites? Like, what were your highlights from TakeOver? What'd you like the most? What'd you like the least?
I actually really liked the Velveteen Dream.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just
I didn't know much about him, but like that match was really good.
A lot of people like the triple threat.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the ladies' matches? Obviously, where it's women crush wrestling. So Io Shirai and Candice LeRae.
Loved it.
Yeah, that was my favorite match of the night.
The whole drive home, the whole drive there, Colin had to listen to me talk about how much I think Io Shirai is very attractive right now, and
well,
is like now one of my number one crushes.
Ah, good for you.
Because he hasn't really seen the new character.
Sure. Okay.
So
are you
that was a good match for me.
Are you more attracted to heel Io Shirai then? Is that what you're saying?
I've always loved heels.
Okay.
She was always really pretty.
Well, yeah.
But I don't know, man. There's just something about her in leather, and I was just like, yeah.
I'm into that.
I am all for this lady right now.
That specifically is my thing right now.
Yep.
Hey, this is a commercial for patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca, where you can get early access to episodes of your favorite WrestleMedia shows, get full uncut and uncensored versions of your favorite shows, and more. Don't want to hear this commercial on your podcast anymore? Sign up at our main event tier and get these episodes ad-free. Want to hear your own commercial here instead of ours? We've got tiers for that too. Visit patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca and join the WrestleMedia revolution today.
All right, Jen, this feels like a good point in the show to throw things over to our interview with Beautiful Beaa. She's the current Northland Wrestling North Star champion. She's a former PWA Women's champion, the current Chinlock Wrestling Heavyweight champion. She's got so much gold, she's going to need a wheelbarrow to carry all of it. So I had a chance to talk with her before her successful championship defense at Chinlock Wrestling's Fallout event, and it was a great time. Let's throw it over there and talk to some Beaa. You're a tough woman to get a hold of.
Yes, I do make it very difficult.
Is that on purpose? Is it because, do you get a lot of stalkers and stuff? I imagine you must.
It's just overwhelming, the amounts of, hey, how are you? It's overwhelming.
Want to be on my podcast? I'm sure you get that a lot, too.
Yes.
So thanks for coming on Women Crush Wrestling. We really
Finally.
appreciate that. Yeah, well, it's great because, much like a quest for a world championship, it makes you just want it that much more. You know what I mean?
All right.
And speaking of which, right now we're actually recording this just hours before Chinlock Wrestling's Fallout. By the time our listeners hear it, the event will be over, and you will have defended your Chinlock Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Let's start off by talking about that. So when did you find out that you were going to be in this championship match, you were going to get a shot at the championship in that four-way in June?
I was here, I made my debut here back in April against Addie Starr, and I think I just caught the attention of some people, and they thought I deserved the chance to be in that fatal four-way.
Talk about the experience of going to the Leon Center at Chinlock and the crowd that was there. It was a pretty huge crowd and a big moment for you to capture the heavyweight title.
That was huge. That's the biggest crowd that I've ever wrestled in front of. The atmosphere was it was crazy. To be backstage with all the legends, it was really a great experience. And then to be able to get that huge moment of winning the Chinlock Heavyweight Championship there's not too many words to describe it, but it was surreal.
Holding championships nothing new for you. You've
No,
held gold.
I'm the collector of belts. I love it.
Here's a fun question then, just off topic real quick. What's your favorite belt in pro wrestling?
Ooh, I don't know. I've been really putting over this Chinlock belt. It has pizza on it, man. It has the Gino's Pizza logo. That's solid. But the PWA Women's Championship obviously has a special place in my heart because it was one of the biggest ones that I won very early in my career. I'm looking to gain back the Crossfire Women's Championship. I lost that against Holiday, so...
Right.
Yeah.
That must have been pretty cool. You're working against a lot of different women out there now, especially this last year.
Yeah.
You've been really active. Let me ask you, is there anybody you've faced in the last year that you've been particularly nervous about or just really honored to be fighting because they were somebody you've been looking up to or someone you really wanted to tussle with or just someone that you looked at and said, oh, man, I can't wait to have this match. This person's going to really take my game to another level.
Honestly, Addie Starr was one of them. I had never worked her before, so it was solid to get in the ring with her. She's a very hard hitter, and I enjoy the hard hitters. Not that I like being hit hard, but if they can hit me hard, they can take it.
And that works a little bit easier for you that way.
Yeah, I like that. It was cool to get in the ring with Madison Rain. I can't really think of one that really stands out to me at this moment. But
I wanted to ask a bit about working with Madison Rain at the Chinlock show. Did she pass on some advice to you or give you some sort of little pearls of wisdom during the match or after the words that you really took to heart?
She was very nice, actually. I was surprised.
Very different from who she portrays on television. Yeah, we've had her on the show before, and she's a sweetheart.
Yeah,
so.
What she portrays on television, I was looking forward to that, and I didn't get that attitude. She was very... I don't know what the word is, but opening, I guess. She was like, held her arms open. And
she was really easy to talk to and was very forthcoming with advice.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
awesome.
Any
questions I had, she was answering them. And
now, there's something really interesting about you that maybe fans don't know. We're not going to name names to kind of just keep things kayfabe a little bit, but you are not the only wrestler in your family.
No, I am not.
You have a sibling that also wrestles. We'll say that, and we'll leave it at that to preserve some of the magic. What is that like, to have a sibling that wrestles as well?
I don't know anything different at this point, but it's wild. Like, I hit her harder than I hit anybody else, and now she's coming around Ontario stealing all these belts from me, and I'm mad about it. But at the same time, there's a little part of me that's like, that's my little sister. That's cool. Like, I'm proud of her, but she's not better than me. I've taught her everything I know, but
she hasn't taught you anything, everything that you know. Did you guys start at the same time, or did she come later on?
Actually, I was probably wrestling for 3 years before she started, maybe even longer. And there was no girl to go on a tour. And I was like, let me just train my sister 3 weeks before we go. And then we were gone for 2 months, and we had something crazy like 48 matches.
Wow.
Yeah. So she
talk about an introduction to the business.
Yeah, that's how she learned. It was like, all right, howdy bump, and then let's go on the road and wrestle.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second then. Was she a fan before getting into this? Was this something she ever expressed interest in, or was this something that you just kind of pulled her out of desperation from?
She became a fan, but at first she definitely used to like make fun of me, like, why do you like watching all those guys in spandex and yalla? But then she came to the shows and she started like making connections with some of the wrestlers because they're my friends now, because I was starting to work. And yeah, I kind of dragged her in, I guess, but you know wrestling, once you're in, right? You love it.
And you can't get out of it no matter how hard you try.
Yeah, if you ask her, she would say the same. She would be like, I don't know why I did it, but now she's in, and she's in it.
Is she one of your favorite opponents to work with now?
Yeah, it's special in there with her.
Has the family ever come out to see you guys fight, or is that kind of like something that they're like against you guys fighting?
Oh, for sure. If you pay attention to the PWA, my mom has actually been involved.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so my sister chopped my hair off in the ring, and then a few months later, she chopped my mother's hair off.
So you got your mom in the angle.
Yeah.
Okay, so now was this another situation of like twisting her arm? Was your mom like ready to get going into it?
Oh, my mom was so ready.
So you're saying situation a bit different. Maybe your mom should have been the one you went to, because clearly she was ready to jump in immediately.
Yeah.
So talking about PWA, we had Lenny Lilac on the lasting mark not long ago, and I talked about Hot Mess Express because
they are dead.
For now. Everything in wrestling is temporary, let's be honest. But even if they never return, it was one of my favorite tag teams because you guys made such an incredible odd couple. Tell us your side of that story, how that came about, and your memories of working with Lenny as a tag team partner.
Well, we are for sure the odd couple. I would have never guessed in a million years that Lenny Lilac would have been my tag team partner, the Fat Elvis that they used to call him. But I don't know, something happened. I think it's the dancing. He just wanted to get in on my good time and then take my good time away from me and ruin my life for a few months.
You seem to be making quite a few enemies is all I'm saying, but I guess greatness breeds that, right?
You know what? I try to be nice to everyone. I don't know. Lately, it's like maybe I'm too nice. People don't like it.
Obviously, you're a big threat in any women's division that you compete in. But here's my question. Have you done any intergender wrestling? And if you have, what's your take on it? Do you like doing it? Are you more prefer women's wrestling? Like, where do you stand on the issue?
I love intergender wrestling. I find, like, they put you up a little bit higher. Like, I could bust out a lot cooler moves with them. I don't know what it is. They're stronger. But yeah, I always have a good time. And it's always fun to just beat up a guy that's 2 times your size. Like, I can pick this dude up. Watch me.
Now, obviously, you said the PWA women's title has a special place in your heart because it was a championship you held early on in your career. Now, the Chinlock Heavyweight Championship is that. It's not a quote-unquote men's championship, but it's the main championship for Chinlock. It's the grandest prize in the whole company. You know, does that do you take that into consideration when talking about the championship and what it means to you? Does it mean a little bit more knowing that this is a title that's kind of open to all genders, all comers, and the fact that the only 2 champions to hold it have been women? I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's almost unheard of, I would say. That's sweet. I never really looked at it that way, to be honest. It's a huge honor to be holding a title that's only been held by girls, but is meant to be the heavyweight championship. And hopefully I can take out Jessie Mack tonight and get those heavyweights up in there and take them all out and show everyone what the girls got.
Where did your love of pro wrestling start? Like, how old were you? Is it something that you kind of fell out of and then back into? Where did your journey begin?
Well, unlike most people, I wasn't one to watch it on TV necessarily. Some people don't know this. Do you know Chris Thorne?
Yes.
He's actually my uncle.
Oh,
so
get out. Okay.
When I was like 10 years old, he would come into town and do the beach shows with Chuck Sims or whatever, and that's how I fell in love, was being that little fan in the front row, yelling, screaming, "Shut up!"
So where most people would be like, "Oh man, I loved Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock and The Undertaker," you'd be like, "I loved Quan Chang and Chris Valentino and all those guys, the old school guys, the old school indie guys."
Yeah, and it's really cool because I've got to see some of the people become who they are today. Like Courtney Rush is now doing so many cool things. Well, I watched her.
And so many personalities. I believe she actually is several people now. So, but yeah, just won the Smash Wrestling Championship at the Summit, which was a great honor for her. And obviously she does cool things at Impact. Is that somewhere you'd like to maybe work some days, Impact Wrestling?
Yeah, I'm open to work everywhere. I just want to wrestle. I love it.
Is there anybody on your bucket list yet that you're like, oh man, I got to step in the ring with that person?
There's so many. I haven't worked half of the amazing talent that there is out there, like Jordan Grace. There's just so many. I could just name them all off.
So did your uncle train you?
Yep. Okay. Yep. Along with Easy, Eric Kearney, and Robbie Reckless.
Awesome. Yeah. Good class to grow up with those guys. And of course, they've got the PWA connection as well with you guys, so you're kind of like a little mini family there, which is really nice, right? Yeah. Okay. So outside of wrestling, what do you like to do when you're not like beating people up or training?
I'm definitely an outdoorsy person. I like to go on hikes and anything in the water or being active, bike rides. I work at community living with people who have disabilities, so that takes up a lot of my time.
Talk a little bit about that some more. Like, how did you get into that profession?
I just love the people. I'm a very people person. I love helping people, so now my job is to teach people how to be awesome.
Is that something that you sought out for a while, or is it a career you kind of fell into? Honestly, I'd love to say I wanted to do this my whole life, but it was kind of, my mom was like, you should really have a backup plan. And I was like, you know what? I volunteered in the EA class at my school, so that helped me. And then I was just like, I like doing that, so let's do it. It was very just, I need to go to college, so and now I love it. What is it that you love most about the job? What do you find is the most rewarding or satisfying thing about it for you? Teaching people and watching them achieve their goals, for sure. And conversely, what do you love most about wrestling and being a wrestler? The fans. I love getting out there and dancing with them and making sure that I give them a moment or two. Why Kesha? I really don't know. I don't object to Kesha. Yeah. It's always one of the more unique songs that I've heard. I'm like, that's a really interesting choice for a theme song. Yeah, Timber. I've had that song since I started, I think, and it gets me pumped up. It's going down. I'm yelling timber. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. I like that. You're right. There's a philosophy there, without question. So let me ask you, what are your kind of goals for the rest of the year and beyond? Like, what do you have right now on your to-do list for the rest of 2019, 2020? Do you have specific goals that you've set, or are you just kind of going with the flow? I just want to wrestle every weekend, wherever I can, take whoever's titles I can, and just be wrestling. Promoters, are you listening to this? Get out there, book Beaa anywhere you can. Where can promoters and fans find you? Well, Facebook and Instagram, and I have an email, beawrestling@gmail.com. And they can go and reach out to you that way as well. Awesome. Perfect. Thanks so much for taking the time, Beaa. This was fantastic. I appreciate your time here on the show, and it was great chatting with you. Thank you for having me. Hopefully it was worth the wait. It certainly was. Thanks. And there you have it. Great interview with Beautiful Beaa. Had a good time with her. Jenn, did you have a good time today? Yeah. Well, Well, good. I'm glad. I guess that's wonderful.
Pregnancy makes me weird.
It does, but that makes for some really good content. And
you know what? I'm actually very chill, and I thought my hormones would be making me crazy,
right?
Like emotional.
Like you thought you'd start crying,
just for everything.
Hey, that reminds me, we're going to put the podcast on hold for a second, and I'm going to get a surprise for you. Okay, so I'm back. I had to run into my car real quick, which is why I'm huffing and puffing. So we were at the summit, and of course, we wish you could have been there.
Yeah.
And we wanted you to be there really bad. Sorry, I'm really out of shape.
This is how I feel just going to the bathroom. Just so you know.
But I felt it would have been really wrong for me as your podcast partner to go to the summit and not get you something. So I went up to our Princess of Poop, Shotzi Blackheart, and I told her what a big fan you are. And she got you, she signed this photo for you. You want to say what it says?
I'm your daddy. To my baby?
I don't know. Maybe, if you want to put it there.
That's awesome.
It's pretty great. But there's a problem.
Oh.
Because I'm not the only one that bought you stuff from the summit.
Oh.
Patron and superfan Rob was at the show. And unfortunately, well, hold on. He also got you a signed Shotzi Blackheart.
But this one's different.
Yeah, it is different. What does this one say?
Eat pizza or die. Which is obviously, I would get that tattooed probably on me.
And how would you eat said pizza?
With poop.
On a bagel?
No!
Oh, sorry. Pardon me.
Ooh.
Which is pretty great, right?
I don't think I think having two of these is amazing.
Well, guess what?
Do I have a third one?
He wasn't done.
Oh my god.
Because Rob also knows what a big fan of Sienna, Allison Kay, you are. So Allison Kay was there, and he got you an 8x10 signed by Allison Kay.
Well, it says pinkies up.
Pinkies up, right?
Oh.
And I told Allison that, Jenn wishes she could have been here to see you, and she says she really would like to meet you someday, so.
Oh, that she thinks of me.
She does, yes.
Oh, okay, good.
But you know what's not good?
What?
Well, he wasn't done yet.
Oh my god. I feel like I won the lottery.
Because, Shotzi's not the only gross wrestler we talk about on the show.
No.
Shotzi is merely one half of the tag team of terror. There's also the queen of quees, Priscilla Kelly.
That's awesome.
And Rob knows what a fan you are of her, so he got you an 8x10 of Priscilla Kelly.
Oh my god.
Isn't that nice?
This is super nice. This is the nicest anyone's ever been to me.
Well, hold on, because he's not done yet.
Oh my god. You prepared yourself.
Nicole Matthews was also at the show.
Well, of course.
And I know what a big fan of hers you've become since the summit.
Right.
So there's an 8x10 of Nicole Matthews there for you to enjoy.
Oh, I feel so spoiled.
Well, guess what?
Oh my god!
Not done yet.
Oh my god.
There's still one more. One more from Rob, our super fan.
Oh my god, Rob.
One Mercedes Martinez, the Latin sensation, carrying all her championship belts, saying thanks for their support.
Oh.
Mercedes, we now have an 8x10 of you for both of us.
That's true.
You need to come on the show. I think that's kind of how it works.
I think that's how it works.
Yeah, right. Once you buy two 8x10s.
It has to.
You owe us an interview.
Oh my god, Rob, though.
I thought I was being a super nice podcast host.
And then he just showed you up.
And then he just showed me up big time.
He was super sad I wasn't going.
Yeah.
And
he wanted to meet you.
I know. And I was like, oh, yeah, well, what shows are you going to? And he told me. And then he's like, oh, I just heard you're not going to be here. I'm like, oh, I'm literally on my way to Toronto now.
Yeah. But he did all that for you, and he wanted to wish you a happy birthday. He said those are your birthday presents.
Aw, thanks, Rob.
We have the best fans, the best listeners. So that puts you listening to this right now in some really, really good company. So thank you guys so much for supporting us. And of course, Rob supports us every single month. He's one of our patrons.
And he deserves a hug.
He
when
really
we do
does.
meet.
You are going to get a hug.
We're going to get a hug. And maybe I'll have a baby bump.
So it'll be like extra hard.
It'll just be
hug.
like a weird reach around. No,
Um,
I don't mean
well,
like that. I just meant-
listen, I don't know what kind of perks you think our patrons get, but that is not one of them.
You sure you don't do that?
Well, I mean, when Rob presented me with all those 8x10s, I felt like I had to thank him somehow. For goodness sake, come on.
Goodness.
So, but we also thank him every single month by presenting him with cool extra content. He gets extra stuff that, for example, people listening to this podcast right now may be listening to it for free at WrestleMedia.ca or through SoundCloud or Spotify.
You moochers.
Thank you for your support and listening to us that way. If you want to show some extra support, throw a few ducats in the bucket at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca, like our buddy Rob does every single week.
Right.
And, or every month, I should say. That would be a lot of money every week. But for just a little bit of money, he gets extra content. He gets the episodes early. He gets access to bonus episodes that nobody else gets access to,
right.
Which is so cool. You can check all that out at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca. You know, I really wish I'd gotten Rob in some of the video footage that I shot over the weekend, because I have a lot of video footage to go through for our road trip videos, which is a series on our YouTube channel. Jen, a few weeks ago, I made a plea for people to come and subscribe to us because we're so close to 50. We actually hit 50.
There you go.
Now we're going to shoot for 100. So if you haven't yet subscribed, get the ball rolling. Go over there and subscribe. Hit the little notification button. And then if you want to be notified about not only when those videos are coming out, but like what happened in WrestleMedia this week. Maybe you couldn't keep up with all the content we're putting out there on a daily basis. Well, sign up for our newsletter. It's free, buddy. And you'll get it every single week. You'll get to see all the highlights, all the best shows, the best interviews, maybe even get access to some cool contests. It's really a great deal because it's free. I don't know if I've mentioned that, but it's free.
No, I don't think you did.
Well, I'm going to mention it one more time. It's free. Go check it out, all right? And then get involved in the conversation. Maybe, Jen and I were talking about something and you were like, hey, I disagree with that point, or hey, I wanted to add something to this. Or maybe you think pizza on a bagel is not pizza anytime. Maybe you think it's only at certain times during the day. When is those times? I want to know about it.
Noon and 3.
Tell us on our social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at WrestleMedia.ca. And, of course, the home, the mothership, if you will, of WrestleMedia is our website, WrestleMedia.ca. If you haven't yet checked it out, please check it out. You can find the links for all the stuff we're talking about there and so much more. Jen, anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up?
Nah, I'm really hot right now. Hot and I almost cried.
From the pictures?
I was pretty close to crying.
You're close there, Rob. You almost got her. Rob, you just have to work harder next time.
No, this was amazing.
Next time, bring Charlotte Flair bound and gagged on a chair.
No.
No?
No.
How about Mia Yim in a nice hat?
Willingly.
Willingly.
That she comes willingly.
There you go, Rob. You have your assignment.
With a hat.
All right. Shall we take it home?
Yes, I've been Just Jenny, and that's been my boy Adam. Didn't think this through, did you?
I didn't, because I don't have another wrestling quote here. I will quote Shotzi Blackheart when I told her the big fans and say, thank you.
Oh, there you go.
There it is.
All right. Well, we just crushed it.
Yeah, we did. Boom! Which picture did you almost cry at?
It was...
At what point?
It was this one.
At Sienna?
Yeah,
Allison Kay?
She owns my heart.
Oh, does Shotzi know about this? Is the daughter of the father of your child know?
No.
Oh,
I feel a Maury episode.
Maury.
This has been a presentation of WrestleMedia, where everything is wrestling and wrestling is everything. Here's what you're missing out on right now over at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca.
We took the picture, and it was like a normal picture.
Yeah.
But I told her how I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like excited and said congratulations. And then after we took the normal picture, she's like, oh, I should have touched your stomach, but that would have been weird. I was like, no, man, just do it. So she was like, can we take another one? And then that's where I got the picture of her touching my stomach.
Cool.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of like your big moment.
Yep.
That was really. Did you cry? How close did you come to
I
crying?
didn't cry, but I got really excited.
Good. Did you pee a little?
A little. I pee all the time.
That's why I asked.
Peeing right now.
Want more? Sign up now at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca.